The San Diego Padres are done messing around. Hours ahead of Tuesday's trade deadline, the long-suffering franchise that's looked primed to break through for a while now pulled off one of the biggest deals in baseball history, landing superstar Juan Soto and all-star Josh Bell from the Washington Nationals for an unprecedented bevy of prospects. And with that blockbuster to end all blockbusters finalized, the Padres have not only bolstered their chances of capturing the first World Series title in franchise history this season, but they've positioned themselves to be one of baseball's preeminent powerhouses for the foreseeable future. It may not compute, the Padres being a capital P problem for the rest of the league, but you better believe it's happening. We'll explain why. Sit back, relax, and take this in. Although the results haven't been there yet, the Padres have been seriously trying to win for a while now. Under the intrepid leadership of general manager AJ Preller, the Padres have been as aggressive as any team in the majors over the last few years when it comes to bolstering their active roster. Since 2018, in fact, the Padres have either signed or traded for the following All-Stars: Manny Machado, Blake Snell, Yu Darvish, Joe Musgrove. That's not an exhaustive list either. And with those dudes in tow, plus a solid crop of young studs like Fernando Tatis Jr. and Jake Cronenworth, the Padres came into 22 poised to compete, unfazed by their shocking sub-500 finish the season prior. And compete they have. As the trade deadline dawned, the Padres found themselves well above 500 and fairly secure in their wildcard spot, even with Tatis sidelined for the entire season. They could have done nothing at the deadline and still had a decent shot at the World Series. Doing nothing isn't exactly Preller's style, though. Instead, in his effort to bring San Diego its first championship in the franchise's 53-year history, Preller went all in. First, he added one of the game's most dominant relievers to his bullpen, acquiring four-time All-Star Josh Hader from the Milwaukee Brewers in exchange for a four-player package highlighted by the club's incumbent closer, Taylor Rogers, and outfield prospect Esteury Ruiz. It was a lot to give up for a relief pitcher, even one as electric as Hader, who should anchor San Diego's bullpen through 2023. But it was consistent with Preller's MO, and critically, the Padres didn't part ways with any of the most highly touted prospects from their enviably deep system. And as we soon learned, that's because Preller had bigger plans. The Hader trade, it turned out, was just a precursor to one of the most massive deals in MLB history, a seismic swap that immediately and profoundly altered the landscape of the National League. Ahead of Tuesday's deadline, the Padres pushed all their chips into the middle of the table, effectively cleaning out their farm system for Soto, a generational talent who won't hit free agency until after 2024, and Bell, a one-time All-Star who's in the midst of a monster year himself. Honestly, generational talent might be an understatement. Soto's one of the greatest young hitters the game has ever seen. As of this writing, he boasts the sixth highest OPS of any player in the modern era through his age 23 season, and nearly 5 years into his career, he's averaging more than 6 WAR per 162 games played. Ultimately, never before has a player this good and this young, with this many years of relatively inexpensive team control remaining, been traded. And that's why Soto, along with Bell, commanded such a massive price. All told, the Padres sent over 4 of their most highly touted prospects, plus rookie left-hander Mackenzie Gore and veteran first baseman Luke Voit. 2 of the prospects San Diego sent over to Washington, shortstop C.J. Abrams and outfielder Robert Hassell, were recently ranked among the game's top 25 by Baseball America, while outfielder James Wood cracked the top 65. Also included in the deal was 18-year-old right-hander Yarlin Susana, who's dominating the low minors in his first season of pro ball, and Gore, a recent consensus top 15 prospect whose rookie season was interrupted by an elbow strain. That's a serious haul, one that immediately revitalizes a Nationals farm system that ranked among the worst in the game coming into 2022. Washington's long-term future just got substantially brighter. Arguably, however, no team in baseball has a brighter short and medium-term future than the Padres, who just added one of the best hitters in the majors, plus another very good hitter in Bell, to a talented lineup that has managed to be league average this season even without Tatis. Swap in Soto for Nomar Mazara and Bell for Eric Hosmer, and the Padres lineup is suddenly elite. And once Tatis returns, which should be in the near future, San Diego's lineup will be as dangerous as any other in the big leagues. Long story short, the Padres are now a team with no weaknesses. Their rotation, after all, was already among the best in the game, leading the NL in quality start percentage as of this writing while sitting 7th in the majors in WAR. Their relief corps, which is tied for the 4th fewest meltdowns in all of baseball, figures to be even more stalwart with Hader in the closer role. And now their lineup is a behemoth too. And it's gonna stay like that for a while. Again, Soto is under control for 2 more seasons after this one. Meanwhile, the ink is still wet on Tatis's 14-year extension, and Machado isn't eligible to opt out of his current deal until after the 2023 campaign. Ultimately, after struggling for so long to crack baseball's upper echelon, it looks like the Padres have finally done it. With Soto in tow, and Bell around as well for at least the remainder of the season, San Diego has to be taken seriously as a World Series threat, both now and moving forward. But what say you? Are the Padres now baseball's team to beat? And did Washington get enough for their 23-year-old superstar? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. As always, we appreciate you. We'll see you next time.